very first ASMR video. I'm someone who has been watching ASMR for a very long time, and over the years I've always thought about making my own channel, but I never actually got around to making a video, and so here I am. Tonight I came and wanted to unwind a little bit and do some variety puzzles. This is something that I've always loved to do since middle school. As you can see from the April 2015 date on this book, I ordered some bulk order that you get a big discount on, and yeah, these have lasted me forever. But yeah, I thought maybe since I'm doing this anyways, and it's something very chill and relaxing, that other people might enjoy it. This is a new book, but let's just find something. I always kind of skip around these books because I can't say I enjoy all the puzzles equally. So there might be some skipping around, but I do like these share a letter, or sometimes they're called stretch letters, because, as you can see, it's kind of like a crossword, but the different cells are not all uniformly square. Some of them stretch to work for several clues. So it seems like as good of one as any to start on. So I'll give you a few starting letters to kind of help you out. The first one across is Western Coaches, which I'm not ringing a bell. Also, sometimes I'm someone who's very into New York Times, puzzles, all that kind of stuff. And every time I come back to these old-fashioned puzzle books, I'm always oh yeah, a lot of their references and words they use and stuff are much more old-fashioned compared to what I've become used to with New York Times and all that kind of stuff. But fingers crossed, we'll get through this. So I'm not sure about clue 1, but clue 2 is Fawn's father, which with this G is stag. So since it's a stretch letter, you put the letter all the way down each cell, which sometimes can get kind of hard to read when they're incredibly long. But so we have 2 is stag. And then that means that the first one for 3 across, tag, child's game, that makes sense. So confirming that that is correct. For airline info would be ETA. That's kind of a crossword classic that seems to have endured all the time. New York Times crosswords are always including ETA. I think because they love 3-letter words, especially if they have 2 vowels. So it's always Rita Ora, Yoko Ono, etc. But ETA is a very common one. So if we look at 5, the first one, Florida City, 5 letters, TA, Florida City. Florida City, TA. Okay, let's go to 6. Friendly, starting with A. Amicable would be too long. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Friendly. Let's see, number 1, part of Iberia. So this would be the first part of number 1, and then the second clue, third clue, because each clue has several parts. Part of Iberia, that would be 5 letters, because the Iberian Peninsula only has Spain and Portugal. It would have to be Spain. So I think we can fill that in. Also, please ignore the burn I got on my finger the other day. Hopefully that clears up soon. And yes, it is a little painful. I've realized now that holding my pencil can kind of rub against it sometimes. So if we have Spain there, 2, the second part of 2, keep nourished, could be sustain. Scratching these letters, it's hard to maintain good penmanship. Where was that? Keep nourished, sustain. Western, oh, okay. So back to this one, number one. Western coaches. Coaches in the sense of cars, or vehicles, I mean. So it's stages, like a stage coach. And then three, the second part of three, greatest lake would be Superior. Ooh, this is a very long E. Okay, then I'm gonna go to the second part of four, Prince's stand-in. Would that be a pauper? Like P-A-U? I really, to be honest, I don't know what a pauper is, but that sounds like something it could be. Oh, yes, it is, because it's one of those words that, like, you just kind of, like, have heard, but you don't, like, really know what it is. Or maybe that's just me. But that makes sense, because then 5A, Florida City, would be Tampa. I'm kind of surprised that didn't come to me sooner. And then going back to 6, what was that? Friendly. AM, that just makes me want to say amicable, but that's not. Okay. I'm gonna be annoyed when I get it. I'm gonna be like, duh. But we'll come back to that. 4, Popper, and then actor Bloom, Orlando Bloom. Also, the Florida City, funnily enough. I wonder if they were thinking about that when they made that clue. Then we have 5. Okay, what's this one? 5. Thus. Ergo. Ergo? Queen's City, London. That's 5 done. Then maybe the second part of 6, record player. Also, by the way, sorry if there's any camera shaking, especially if I end up like using my eraser or anything. I'm like, it's kind of jerry-rigged, but maybe I can get a tripod if I keep going with this. But record player. Oh, gramophone. Like old record player. Wow. Could I make parallel lines? So kind of at an awkward angle because of the said jerry-rigging. Where was that? Oh, I already crossed it off. And then, should I do this part up here, maybe? 3, opposite, antonym, maybe? I'll write it down and then we'll see if that works with the other clues before I cross that off. And then 2, valuable metal, platinum, perhaps, and yes. So this would be platinum, and this would be, one is serene, so this would be placid, which just makes me think of like Placid Olympics. So that is a 1. 7, or 3rd, actually, we already got the second part, just like filling in the other ones. 7, ba. Fooey, probably. And then, what is the first one? Agile. Agile. We'll come back to that. 8. Second part, jargon, terminology. Really gets hard to make parallel lines on the really long ones. And then 9. The second, yeah. Light winter fur would be ermine. And self-importance would be ego. For the second part of 10, pesky rodents would be vermin. And then Jason's ship would be the Argo. Jason and the Argonauts. Then, let's see, 11, the second part of FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. 12, 11, yeah. Can we get maybe the first one of 10 to like break into this area? Energy units. Amperes? That works. Is that what? This is where things get tricky because I'm not confident in what that actually measures. But that sounds right? I mean, it's not like volts, it's not. I know ohms are resistance. Right, amps, that's gotta be it. Wait. Amperes. Amperes does not fit. Right. Yeah. Didn't mean to erase that though. Okay, well, we can look at 12. The big house. The big house is like jail. Right. But what ends in OOSE? All I can think of is like goose. This area is giving me trouble. Let's see the second part of 12. Daniel Singer. That's not helpful. Elton John, probably. And then second part of 13, unite would be conjoin. Where's the first part of 13? Unqualified. Compliant. This has to be like a bull, right? Is that sable? A marten is like a rodent thing. If so, having sable and ermine in the same thing is kind of funny. Let's like go with that and see. So then this would be 17 across. Infants, babies. Adaptable, compliant. It's like kind of an odd, like I guess that's a synonym, but 18 of the environment. Of course. Of the environment. Okay, let's do the middle 16, which would be noted cavern, Carlsbad. The A's also get tricky. I guess that might be better to do like a rounded A, so then it's not, because the more it gets stretched, the like crazier the point kind of gets. Now it's too late. I've started with triangular ones. I can't go back on this puzzle. My brain won't let me. Did I mark that off? Where is that? 16. Yes, I did. 15, second part. Fabled flyer. It's not Amelia Earhart. Oh, Icarus. Too close to the sun. And then 14, the middle one. Military gesture. Military gesture. Not sure. But Edna output is, I'm assuming, lava. And then 15, yeah, because 15 is Eastern European, likely, which would be a Slav. 16, mineral slat. Is that like stave or something? No, that's like stave off. Whatever. 17, city transport, streetcar. Right. Yeah, stave. Okay, I guess that has multiple meanings. 18, breather, rest. 19, insulation brand. Well, first, 18, Fido's remark would be ARF. 19, insulation brand. It's gonna be something like some reference I don't know. 20, beginner, sorry. Well, this is 10, Gallup hat. And then 19, campers, shelters, tent. guess I didn't realize that's a brand name. Because it's like Kleenex and stuff, or you don't really realize it's a brand name because it becomes common verbiage. Scholars need an ore. Beginner Tyro? Is that right? We will check. I mean, that's how you spell styrofoam, right? 13 across was... Wait, these are all finished, right? 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, I'm assuming is Tyro. 13 unqualified. This area is not great. I know one of my major blind spots is sports, so baseball's Ripken does not help me. Practice thrift. Settle in a way. Oh, I didn't realize I missed, or like didn't fill in. Biblical sailor over here is Noah. The big house is like throwing me like that. That's jail or like prison, but I feel this is where my age is contributing to my ignorance of some, other word for jail. I really wish I knew 11, because it would help me get like all of these letters, but I don't know. It's not like, I thought it was like Al Ripken, or like Cal, maybe, or Cal? Okay, if it was Cal, that is the worst C I've ever seen in my life. Wow. Say it was Cal. No. So what would energy units be? Oh, no, it is cal, because it's calories. Oh my god. Whenever I like do like pull a sports thing out of the ether somehow, I'm always like, wow, I'm a genius. Everyone else is probably like, everyone knows that, duh. But to me, I'm always amazed that somehow I figured that out. Okay, so it is Cal Ripken. So what is the big house? What? Okay, right. 9, settle in a way. Settle in a way. God, okay. 7, agile. Like, all I can think of is like spry, dexterous, agile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it ends in an E. Nimble. It's like so close to amicable, but I kind of forget that that word exists. Practice thrift. Practice thrift. Economize? That's really crazy, if you ask me. Economize? Oof. So this would be settle, would be colonize, okay. And then what was left? This. Oh, we had 10 done. The big house and unqualified. And then what was military gesture? Salute. Okay. I don't think I even looked at, did I look at that one? And unqualified. Unqualified? Absolute? Oh, like there's no qualifications on it. It's the absolute whatever. Okay. What is calaboose? Oh, sorry. Let's check that just to make sure. 23. This is Charlotte. Calaboose, whatever that means, and Tyrone. I guess leave a comment if you know what that means, because that is a new phrase to me. And I like just like reading it wrong. I don't know how else you would read that. I'll have to look that up later. These are always kind of like, this reminds me of doing like highlights books in like a doctor's office or something when I was little. But like, why not? Let's for old time's sake. So only one will perfectly match the shadow. Notify the differences in the silhouette of all the others. So the first thing I'm seeing is here in number 2. The handle of his little flag touches all the way down, whereas in here it does not. So it's not number 2. Let's see. Here, her foot stays within the boundaries of the rocking horse, whereas in all the other ones, it sticks out the side. And number 8. Wow, this one is such a tiny detail. The rocking horse's ear pokes up just above his mane, which is not present in the original. Mostly with these ones, I usually end up looking for what sticks out compared to the others more than like actually referencing the silhouette, because each one that is wrong, there's only one thing wrong with it. So like all the other ones will look the same in that regard. Like all the other ones have, the correct ear. So it's like easier to spot the differences than like looking at the silhouette. Because I think if I was just looking at the silhouette, I would not have realized that tiny little bump. Surely something with the tail. Also try to like bounce around different areas of the drawing. line connecting to the horse's nose, snout. What's left of these three? This is where things get trickier. So there's at least like one difference in these ones where I'm like, okay, we're like really stretching it. Like that is really hard to notice. But I think for this one, I'm like, this tiny little ear. Sometimes like really subtle stuff, like the angle of, you're like, oh yeah, I guess if I look really hard, I notice that, but or like handkerchief looks the same. It's like the shape of the rocker. No, it's not these lines. So gap looks the same in all of them. It also becomes really like doing these, you start to feel like, am I stupid? Or like such like a kid's puzzle. You're like, right. Okay, maybe let's look for like defining features from the silhouette. Oh wait, no. Thought maybe his mouth was going to be one. I mean, is your handkerchief any different? If it is, it's like too subtle for me to notice. The arc of the mane looks the same. Oh. Aha. This one's mane. See, we're getting like really subtle here. The top of his mane sticks out just a little farther. Alright, so there's just one more difference to spot. There's been like nothing like down below, which makes me suspicious. But again, I don't see anything really. Is it the tail? I think it is. Is it? I guess the tail is slightly different angle. When I look back and forth between these tails, I'm like, this one looks like it's like lower. But then when I like look at it next to the one, I like compared to the one next to it, or this one, I'm like, well, maybe is this one like a little lower? Oh yes, because look, like all the other ones where it connects, it's a very tiny gap, but this one has a much longer gap. Wow, that is like so minute. So the answer is number 6. Hopefully. Check this one again. Oh, it's literally the last page. What is it? A shadow. 6 matches. Yep. Horse's tail moved. Flag sticks longer. Girl's leg moved. Horse's mane longer. Girl's head different. Reins added. Horse's ear larger. Well, thank God I got that one, because that would have been a little humiliating if I didn't. What is this one? Crossbox, insert the letter group into each diagram to form words. Reading across the answer the clues on the left in each diagram, which would we run diagonally in attempted blocks. Okay. Sure. Let's see. Friendly. Our college group is probably fraternity. Fraternity. F-R-A-T-E. Aerial sport. Skydiving. Is that really a sport? I mean, I guess I would call it an extreme sport, so I guess if it's an extreme sport, that means it's a sport. But are there like skydiving competitions or like what's the goal? Friendly. Okay, actually, I see below average. Substandard. And friendly is neighborly. So the diagonal bonus word is skateboard. Number 2, intern's quest. That seems the most like unique to me. But to spread rapidly is what I see first, actually. Proliferate. Worthy. Definitive. I feel like this has to go together. Temple, which would either be definitive or worthy, the ending. And it's probably worthy because the BLE would be the last one, which could go with something arable, worthy. Respectable. See, again, it's like, I suppose. Sometimes we kind of are stretching the synonym here. And then intern's quest. Definitive. residency. Oh, okay. Okay. Medical intern. So then the extra bonus word is considerable. I do like these kind of puzzles where something like these diagonal bonus words will let you know that you've done it successfully without having to like check the solution. Because getting the word considerable, I'm like, okay, I definitely did that right. Don't really know what that is, so go for something else. Try the double delight of solving this puzzle by placing 2 letters under each square. Each pair of letters in that diagram will read in the same order for both the across and the down words. Okay, that doesn't seem too bad. Just a bunch of 6 letters. Let's see. Duck's Gate would be a waddle. Now, wait a minute. Yes. Waddle with 2 D's. Because a waddle with 2 T's is like the little neck thing, right? I don't know. Like a rooster. And then 1 down. Dryer's companion is a washer. 2 down. Map table. Legend. 9 across. Chore trip. Errand. 10 down would be meet out slowly. Ration. 15 across. Yellow-haired. Blonde. 15 down. Lady's top. Blouse. 23 across. Upper house. Senate? Right? That seems right. 16 down. Formal argument. Debate. 21 across. Combat. Battle. I don't really know why I ended up going this kind of odd order, but 7 across. Blank bin. Only bin I can think of is Big Ben. Is this like a nickname for Benjamin Franklin or something? A la Honest Abe or something. And 24 down. Blank sun. Not sure. Okay, 17 down. Doll of films. Doll of films. The only doll I know is rolled, but it is not of films. It does not fit. 25. I don't know why I just looked at this one. 25 is probably cuddle. That would make this end in a C, U, which, I mean, maybe. If it did, it would be C, U. No, because then it'd be D, D. And surely 26 down doesn't start with a D, D. No. Okay, let's see. Old Faithful is a geyser. 8 across. And then 4 down is crucial. see. Fortunately, that's, you know, one of those states you don't really think about, and you're like, oh, Pierre, thank you. So 5 across. Deli dill is a pickle. 6 down. School exercise. Like lesson. If that ended in O in 13 across, good sense would be reasons. Down, certain poplars is aspens, I'm assuming. Um, 19 across, detection device. Sensor. So sorry if you hear the fan that just kicked on. 20 down. Halloween hue would be orange. 27 across, pocket money is change. 19 down, hunt is search. 28 down, a national song anthem. 30 across, 33 across, sorry. Looked as if seemed. 33 down, discontinued. Discontinued. 34. Oh, that's 32 down, sorry. 33 down is zone. Sector, I believe. 34 down, fit for consumption is edible. 39 across is Baltimore Player and Oriole. Hey, another sports one that I know. 36 across is perspective. Perspective. I'm not sure. 22 across come into view. Also not sure. Renter is Lacey. It's one of those words you'd like kind of only see written, based on my experience. Wait. Okay, well, first of all, that can't be crucial. Did I spell that wrong? Oh. Or is it like Lisa? Okay, hold on. What is 12 down? Mother Nature, right? So neither of those. Let's see if that's correct. 17 taken into custody is arrest, so yes. So 11, renter. Okay. What is 3 down? Remove from print. 3 across, bypass. not avoid, it's not circumvent, it's not... Let's move down here for a bit. Maybe it'll come to me. 31 is Prince Charming. 31 down. Favor. Prefer. Words like those are so like 5 different ways to read it. 38 across is wore away, eroded. 32 down, discontinued, right? Ceased. It's also like very early in the morning, you might be able to hear the birds outside. 36 across was perspective. Aspect, maybe? Perspective. Yeah, probably aspect. Like aspect ratio. Is like the ratio. Okay, yeah, I don't know. We'll check that one. I'm just randomly seeing 30 Mr. Einstein, so that has to be Albert. 35 across, creed is belief. 37 across, hit the road. Hit the road. 29 across is uncover, which would be unveil. No, that's reveal. 29 down is ebb. To return, probably not. Recede, yes. Duh. So 37, hit the road. Hit the road. Hit the road? I don't know why all I can think is deport, which I'm like, surely that is not it. Depart. Oh my god, wow. That was a little embarrassing. 24 down was blank sun, native sun. That's like a song or something. 26 filter. Filter. Not sure. 17. Hall of Films. So like Arlene or something like that. 25 across was snuggle. 18 down is paper fastener is a staple. 22 across, coming to view is a pier. 25 across is snuggle. Okay. Right. Is that? No, surely not. Okay, let's maybe look up here again. This is like really blank bin. Like, why is all I can think of Big Ben and like Ben Franklin? Okay. So I might be stumped on this one. These ones is kind of, compared to a normal crossword, these formats are very limiting because, like, if you don't, with other crosswords you have several words that go the other way that you could go off of. But with these ones, it's like if you're looking at a square and you don't know either of the clues, you're like, well, I am stuck. Crucial. Pivotal. Hmm. 11 was Renter. Renter. Crucial. This is unfortunate. Bypass. Detour? Maybe? Yes. Okay, see. Sometimes it takes a second. I just have to sit here and think. Where was that? Bypass. Because this is detour, which makes 4 down. Crucial is urgent. Okay, so 11 was renter, tenant. See, things fall into place. Remove from print, delete. Now, does this help me with bin? Gentle bin? Is that a thing? Was Ben Franklin gentle? Does that predate Honest Abe? Gentle Ben? Honest Abe? We will check that, but that's my only guess. And then like snuggle, all I can think of is like cuddle or nuzzle, but neither of that makes sense for filter to start with DD or ZZ, unless for some reason filter is something like a D drain, like D dash drain, and that's like some kind of mechanical thing I'm not familiar with. But also I don't think like Arlic Q or Arlen U is not Daleth films. But if it was like Arlene in E blank blank LE does not. Oh, actually, I bet it is Arlene, and then it is Nestle, which then makes filter is strain. Huh. That is the last one, right? Yes. take a second that we got there. Let's check those couple that were unsure. Double Delight is here. Yeah, Gentle Ben, and what's the other one? Aspect. Yes. Was that it? I believe so. But that wasn't too bad. I do like these acrostics, but I do tend to get stuck on them sometimes, or they'll like take me quite a while, so I might save that for another time. Maybe kind of an easier last one. I do love escalators as well. Maybe I should do that and fill in. Let's do the fill in for now. Maybe next time I'll do the escalator. Because I think by the time we're over an hour, I might run out of storage on my phone soon, so I don't want to take too long on something like this. But this one, these are pretty easy. They're kind of just like figuring out. It's not like you have to know anything. You're just figuring it out based on the letters. So, starting with 5 letters, let's start with an H. There's only one. So that's of course going to be 4. And I hate like this situation. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's start with an O. Maybe Odessa. What is the theme here? There's usually kind of a theme to these fill-in words. I'm not really sure there is one this time, though. Seemed to be kind of random. I usually tend to go for the longest possible word that I have a letter in because there's less of them to look through, so you're more likely to find one. Because like if I were to go to this one that's 4 letters that starts with AD, there's 2 options, so then I would have to like, do a lot of extra figuring out. Whereas, let's see if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that starts with an S. There's only one option, is sucking. Then maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that starts with a C. There are 2 options, but both are CHA, so I can at least fill that in. And then maybe if I look at 4 letters with H in the 3rd spot, would be Ash. Ash spelled like that makes me think of the Overwatch character, which I was playing earlier. Maybe let's do 5 letters with the KE towards the end. Bigger. Yes, has to be bigger. Then what would be best? Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 with a D in the 5th spot. Grandma is an option. Laundry is also an option. Do I want, well, it surely can't be laundry because then it would be YB. Yes. So the answer is grandma. let's see, is there only, maybe there's only one four-letter that ends in an I. Mimi. Yes. So then this has to be abide. Is there more than one A-M? No. Amen. Then D-E-N. Could be A-den. Yes, has to be A-den. Still could be magmed or mass. Mass. But it has to be ding. Den. Which makes this mad. Then what would be best to do next? All of these are kind of short, but there's probably not too many 5 letters ending in F-E. Not chafe, obviously. Gaff. Yep, it's just gaff. Which then gives us this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters with G in the third position. Hygiene is the only option. Make sure it was I-E. Then a 6-letter beginning with an I. This has to be idlest. 5 letters, T-A-S. This taste. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. F-L is luster. E, blank, U. Could be U, or it could be emo. Where was that here? A-D with 5 letters is Adair. Makes me think of Adair, Oklahoma, which makes this eau de parfum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ending in I-S. Would be Atlantis. Maybe 5 letters ending in a Y. Early is the only one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ending in an L. Could be Channel or Marshall. Maybe 5 letters starting and ending with an A. At C. Mm, 6 letters ending with a T. Elliot exempt. Well, we know they at least both start with an E. If I go over here, we know this is Adam. Maybe we can get that 3 R-E. or Ira. Well, it can't be a B because it's not B in. It's supposed to be Ira. And then 6 letters I-N is in violet. Let's see. This is probably Avenue. Yes. Which means this must be arrow. Then a 5-letter ending in R-I must be Maori, right? Yes. And there's a few options for these. Abbott ends in OT. Oh, that is the only one. So AB must be Abe. Honest Abe is back. And this must be Obi. Obi belt. Probably like Sin or something. Yeah. Which makes this MAS. Did we look at this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's an L in the 3rd position. Elliot, Helena, K. That was Helena. Is there an E? No, there is no E blank E-R-T. I thought for a second, but no, it's E-R-T, not R-E-T. Which means this must be Elliot. And this is Eaton. A-N would be Angel. This is probably a Gog, I'm assuming. Yes. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That has an A in the 2nd spot. Marshall or Laundry? So we have to look at. Okay, it can't be Marshall because that would make this an L, and there are no 5-letter words starting with an L. So we have Laundry. And then Yukon. Is there a 3-letter with a K in the middle? Eek. Ski. That sucks. If you look at the 5 letters. Oh, there's only one R 5 letters. Rosie. And this is Ski. This would be Ion. And this would be Out. Six with an N. Helena. similar to this one, it can't be Helena because I would put an H here, and there's no 5-letter beginning with an H. So, which makes this under in Norse. S. Spasm is the last one. So we have REM, S, and bra. And then we have moped, or mopped. I read that as moped first, but looking at it again, I'm like, oh yeah, it's probably mopped. And then ending in a UE. QUE, which makes this quite. And then G gig. Oh, I don't know why I never. I didn't finish writing that song. What's next? TAR. Tarmac. There's a lot of options for M and A. Well, I guess there's only 2 in, but there's 2 for C, but they both end in R. Let's see. This was a mug. This would have to be UMA, which works. If it was Mac, this could end in an E, which does not work, an I, which does not work, or a K, which does not work. So this has to be mug and UMA. And that makes this car. And this is AME. 5 letters ending in GER. Eager. This is channel. Right? Oh no. It's chateau. Sorry. Whenever I kind of accidentally mark one out, I don't feel like using the eraser. I'll just like put a little symbol so I remember that it's not actually gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A is an anal. Anal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. UN. Hanukkah. K, 4 letters would be Kyle. EY, 4 letters. ER would be Earl or This must be wheel. Also, you kind of start, you like read through the lists enough times that you like start to remember certain words. Like wheel stick out to me. R and ends in an O. R-E-O. This is Earl. This. Oh, I have a lot of 3-letter E options. Let's move up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with an E in the middle. Would be 9 pin. This must be channel. Yes. 4-letter with an H. Okay. A. Yeah, all we have left is Annette. Don't know what that means. Maybe let's do 5 letters. R-E and then L. Real. This must be crab. And that is get. G. G, baby. Rind. 5 ends in NDE. Sometimes you kind of lose your place and have to restart. Pond. H-O-I-S-E. Another one, I'm not sure what that means. This must be exempt. What ends in an X? Lex. Is the only one. Which means there was another one with an L. Yeah, that's a blog. So that must be ego. This is Owen. That's all I like to do. Cross it. And that must be worm. So we either have read or road. And it can't be road, because if it was, this would be an O. And there's no OP. So it must be read. And that makes this a pay. ES. That is deal. Which makes that ETA. 6. In the fifth. In the fifth would be Helen. Then maybe another 6 with an E. Oh, this is the last 6 actually. Korean. There's must be 1 7 left as well. Marshall. S, 4 letters, a couple options. Maybe 3 letters ending in a C. This is Oahu. This is Emu, I imagine. And Glen. Yep, the other eek. G. Which reminds me of the Cross Generational song. And 5 letters ends in a G. I sing. Yep. Must be idea. 5 letters, D bar. IB is nib. NA is and this must be A and I and ace. Yes. We have left corner. This would be smooth. 2, 3, 4 ends in M. A dom. Here. Then this is probably, oh, we have 5 letters that ends in AT. Croat. Oh, that's the last 5 letter, yeah. So, oh, just a few 4 and 3 letters left. Or 1 3-letter. No, 2. One of them must be somewhere. I didn't realize it got filled in. Yeah, because this has to be A-OK. Which gives us came, road, and oak. So where is 10? That's the only one. Must be somewhere. Where, oh, T-I-N, 10. And then just these last few. Ends in a K. Maybe took. So then Tesh is here. Sam is here. Oboe is here. And we have oral and ebro. Make sure I've crossed off all 4 letters. Yep. That is that. Honestly, the fill-in did take longer than I thought it would. But I guess just because there's so many to figure out. But I think that is going to be it for today. Maybe next time we'll get to that escalator. But I enjoyed doing these puzzles. I hopefully can come back and do some more in the future, but I hope you enjoyed this first video, and hopefully it was relaxing. And if you have any advice, I would definitely appreciate that in the comments. I'm sure, maybe the audio quality or something like that wasn't the best, but hopefully it was enough to relax you a little bit. So I will see you next time, and I guess subscribe and do all those kinds of things. And I hope you have a nice evening or whatever time of day that you're watching this.